Welcome back to Chapter 17 of our Fire Emblem Engage low-tier LTC. This chapter required numerous preparations and routing decisions stretching all the way back to the early game. It is easily the hardest chapter up to this point, and probably in the entire run as well.
We exhaust all of our remaining second seals to make some important reclasses. First and foremost, Zelkov finally escapes Thief and finds his true calling as a warrior, leveraging his great strength and build. He's a little slow, so he inherits speedtaker to make up for it. He will be an important asset for the rest of the run in strong physical classes. He's not quite as much of a stat monster as Kagetsu, but he will suffice.
For utility purposes, Fogado reclassed the sniper in order to provide covert speed bonuses with Byleth. A possible alternative was using Yunaka, but since she is much frailer, this would require inheriting HP skills, whereas Fogado has room to inherit both quality time and reposition with his SP. Alear also goes Bow Knight, providing 6 move and cavalry type bonus for Lucina's bonded shield. The longbow also allows her to leverage Lucina's dual strike at 3 range.
Anna goes into Mage Knight after spending the majority of the game as a sage. Alear's bonded shield gives 100% protection to cavalry type allies, making Anna unkillable with the right setup. Mage Knight also provides extra movement and speed, which is important for Anna to double. She can win round everything with unforged weapons, thanks to Lilina S-Ring and gentility inherited from Eirika.
That all said, setting up Anna to get all these kills proved rather difficult. Unlike Vantage Thoron, Anna needs enough speed to double everything, consequentially increasing her avoid and reducing her expected damage. We compensate for this with the Eirika Engrave, which reduces her avoid and crit avoid, but even with that, the threshold to get everyone to target her is pretty close. Alear and Lapis's Engraves give them all the avoid they need for the whole chapter. Fogado also has high avoid thanks to standing in a thicket tile as a covert unit, while Zelkov just has high physical bulk, further augmented by gentility. That leaves the Brodian Sages, of which Alcryst has the lowest defense. While Anna has the lowest defense of everyone on paper, she effectively gets 4 more thanks to gentility and Alear personal. However, with the Eirika Engrave bringing her crit avoid down to 0, the Berserkers have 8 crit against her, which makes her expected damage just 0.3 higher than Alcryst.
It's worth noting that we also need Diamant and Alcryst to avoid getting one-shot by the Berserkers, which is not trivial thanks to the poor bulk from Sage. While we've previously noted points where Lapis's 1 strength over Diamant have come into play, Diamant's higher HP and defense come through for him here, and allow him to equip Alfonse for the next turn. Meanwhile, Alcryst needs the plus 5 HP and plus 1 defense from Seth, and with both of them previously gaining an HP level, they survive the Berserkers on exactly 1 HP.
The only enemy we cannot kill on enemy phase is Marnie, due to her uncounterable engage attack. To prevent her from using Blazing Lion, Lapis froze her in place, which she was only able to do by clearing the way for Fogado to reposition her from the thicket tile. With her immense strength, relatively speaking, Lapis then deals 1 point of chip damage to Malvir. In the process, she applies Draconic Hex and Dreadful Aura, making it easy for Anna to finish him off.
Now that Lapis is moved out, Fogado can come in and provide a speed instruct for Anna and Zelkov for their next enemy phase. While repositioning Fogado forward for this, Jade swaps to a lighter Byleth engraved Iron Bow to avoid getting doubled and face 0 crit. Anna proceeds to break Marnie's holdout for Zelkov, allowing him to get the final stack of speedtaker he needs for this chapter. Diamant then moves in to support him with Spur Attack, with him, Framme, and Alcryst setting up obstructs for targeting manipulation.
For our final reclass, Goldmary swaps over to Berserker specifically to deal with Gris over on the right side. She inherits Axe Power 2 and Divine Pulse cheaply thanks to her high base SP, and her high bulk along with Ike will make this a fairly trivial task. Warrior would have also worked here, and technically it would have been slightly more optimal for a whooping +1 to dex.
Anna will once again delete a large group of enemies on enemy phase while protected by Bounded Shield. The only unreliable part is that Alear has to dodge a 20% hit from a Royal Knight. Otherwise, Bounded Shield gets broken and deactivated. Usually, that Royal Knight moves above Malvir and gets frozen by Dreadful Aura as in this clear. In case he doesn't, then Diamant becomes a feasible target, but fortunately, Anna takes 0.2 more expected damage than him. This is why we've kept Alear and Anna at B support, as their A support would actually give Anna 1 point of crit avoid and result in Diamant being targeted instead.
Fogado baits away the worm, freeing up a path for our units to go north next turn. Surviving this particular worm is the reason we chose to reclass him instead of using Yunaka.
Zelkov will face off against Zefia. Thanks to the speedtaker inherit and speed instruct, he's able to double her with the Roy Engrave Steelbow, which is quite impressive for him. While we appreciate the extra damage from the Roy Engrave, the actual reason we use it is to lower his avoid, forcing Zefia to target him over Anna. He counters her at the tail end of her attack range, forcing her to attack with a Levin Sword, which weighs her down compared to the Rider's Bane. It also prevents her from overriding him and Diamant. Furthermore, the specific obstruct formation around Zelkov causes Zefia to wait in place rather than cantering away. This interaction is not really well understood, but it's consistent.
Over on the right side, Goldmary tanks several hits while preparing Great Aether, and Dodge Master Jade baits away an enemy, dodging a 94% hit. Completely unnecessary, but cool nonetheless.
Returning to Zefia, her use of the Levin Sword notably activates her class skill Soul Blade, which calculates damage using the average of the opponent's defense and resistance. This was probably meant to help boost her damage when using physical swords, but with the Levin Sword, it generally ends up increasing her opponent's defensive stat. Especially for Zelkov, who has a pitiful rat stat of 6, this is essential to his survival next turn.
It's pretty convenient that there aren't any other magic enemies in the area. Zelkov's defense is high enough that physical enemies should still target Anna, even without the obstruct. But his res is so bad that any other magic unit would just go after him and kill him, especially since he also has a Roy Engrave.
With Gris kindly warping straight into Goldmary, she is barely able to one-shot him with Great Aether. I'm gonna be honest, Elite, even rewatching this clear after you pointed it out, I still had to do a double take on Warrior being able to do this with 1 less strength. Resonance Recoil really is easy to forget sometimes. At least we still have Divine Pulse to help with this player face kill, so that 2 less hit doesn't feel that bad.
Back to the left side, Lapis takes Zefia's first life with 2 Ching attacks and 0 damage from herself. Alear provides a crucial Ching attack from 3 range using a longbow and Lucina's dual strike, which is why she had to be a bow knight as opposed to say a paladin. Lapis must attack from 2 range so that she can canter into position for Goddess Dance afterwards. Following that, Zelkov one-rounds Zefia's second life with the steel bow, doing much more damage than before thanks to Eclipse Brace and Draconic Hex. Eclipse Brace also barely keeps him alive.
Technically I messed up here, as Alear was supposed to unequip her weapon. He already kills without the chain attack, so she ends up cutting into his healing, as Eclipse Brace does not heal overkill damage. As a result, he will have a slightly higher chance of death in the upcoming fight against Hyacinth.
Anna easily one-rounds Mavir again, this time using Bolganon as she doesn't have Alear next to her. After that, we prepare for the final stretch of the map. Alear can reposition Anna into Goddess Dance formation, but our other units are too far to reposition Zelkov, and Fogado himself is too far to actually do the Goddess Dance. This calls for almost all our remaining units to carry out a massive reposition chain to bring Fogado close enough, and allow Alcryst to complete the formation. The very noticeable Seadoll shaped hole.
Who?
Right. This Goddess Dance notably provides other benefits besides refreshing our units. The covered speed boost will enable Anna to double veil on player phase, and the quality time inherit from Fogado will trigger and allow Zelkov to survive both of Hyacinth's hits. Well, at least if Alear didn't chain attack earlier.
Zelkov ate those stimulating red candies, so I'm sure it will be okay. Anyways, Lapis initiates our final boss kills with a torrential roar, applying multiple debuffs to Hyacinth and Veil, who are conveniently 1 space apart in a straight line. They will both see massive reductions to their defense and avoid, and be frozen by Dreadful Aura, preventing them from using engage attacks. As in Chapter 16, Freeze also causes them to attack first on enemy phase, otherwise none of our units would be able to survive.
Veil will gain buffs from Mart's Perceptive Plus and Divine Speed, but Anna does not care and cleanly one-rounds her last life. Meanwhile, Hyacinth remains frustratingly bulky even after the debuffs. Zelkov needs at least 1 crit to kill him, both on player phase and on enemy phase. While the Roy Steel Bow would work on player phase, we don't have anyone to trade him to the Killer Bow for enemy phase. In a last-ditch effort, Hyacinth switches to the Light Brand, increasing his luck by 10. Zelkov manages to cut through him anyway, and complete Chapter 17 in 3 turns.